60-second ethics lesson. What advice would you give to your niece who's just getting into compliance to be extremely successful in her career?
Well, I think, I started actually when I was 18. I got into ethics and compliance a long, long time ago. So I would say just take your time and really learn from the people around you and just network and ask questions and really be curious.
I would say get out of your comfort zone. You might not know the answer, but you have to get out there to find a solution and to talk to people. Make sure they challenge yourself, but always get out of your comfort zone.
Read the federal sentencing guidelines. Great start, great overview, and you'll be able to talk the talk and learn more details about each.
I think the biggest takeaway is that it can be overwhelming and it's really complex. And so I'm very thankful for organizations like this that can bring us all together and feel like we have a support system.
Be sure to learn how to tell really cool stories. Anything that you've learned or you've experienced, especially the bad stuff, figure out a way to turn it into a story, because believe me, there's a lesson in there. And that's a lot of what we do as ethics compliance professionals.
If your niece was just getting into ethics and compliance, what piece of advice would you give her to help her have an amazing career?
Join SCCE. It has a great network, great resources, great vendors, everything you need, one place.
Get into the compliance game earlier on. I started out in a couple other different fields, and compliance and ethics matches my personality very well. You get to have a little bit of fun with your coworkers, and it's not all business.
I would say don't be afraid to speak up. Probably one of the hardest lessons I learned was even if you think something's wrong, say something, and don't be afraid to escalate that if you feel in your gut that it is. Probably one of the best things of my career was getting recognized for it and, really always trusting yourself.
So I would tell her that ethics, risk and compliance is such a fascinating field where probably early on in the career, you get an opportunity to actually talk to leaders, senior executives of the organization, and most importantly, make your presence felt, have a seat at the table, and also a voice at the table. And being a woman, I think, being my niece, I think I would always wish well for her to be on top of the world in a professional career.
Your niece is lucky to have you as an auntie. What advice would you give your niece who's just getting into ethics and compliance on how to have a great career?
Be confident, be strong in what you believe in, but be open to other people's opinions. Be willing to take criticism, even if it's not fair, but be willing also to listen and see if there's anything that you can take and actionalize. Is that a word?
That's a word now.
Yeah, actionalize, make actionable, I guess, into something positive.
I think the first thing I would say is stay curious and network as much as you can. Really connect with others, ask questions, and listen. I think that's the biggest thing, because it's such a broad industry. I feel like it can feel really overwhelming. There's so many areas that you could dedicate 10 years to and still be learning something new. So just this attitude of there's a lot of people out there willing and able to share their expertise and their knowledge and their passion about the profession and the industry with you. So set up those meetings, ask for those 30-minute calls, talk with people, and I think that's going to take you a long way.
Great advice. Wow. Stay tuned for more 60-second ethics lessons.